So what is up, everyone? Today is Monday, December 29th. I'll be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So I am coming into the session with a bearish bias, to be honest. So I will explain why, but real quick, I do just want to remind you guys that I am trading on evaluation accounts this week. So I'm not trading on my actual funded accounts because I just view the last week of the year, coming into the first week of the year, can be lower probability conditions. So I'm just gonna wait 1 week to be back in my fundeds, but I'll be trading an evaluation account. But so on the daily time frame, right? Oh, good morning, Zam Trades. How are you, bro? So I see there's this SNT on the daily time frame, right? So at these daily highs up here. Yo, what's up, Bakakenu? Glad to see you here, bro. Oh, yo, what's up, Darky Knight? You said, yo, Tim, morning, man. How are you? I skipped a couple days trading. You're good, bro. Happy to see you here. I'm doing pretty good. Had a good restful weekend. How was your weekend, Darky Knight? What's your name? EWQEWQ. I don't know how to say that, but hi. Jack says morning, Tim. Good morning, Jack. Glad to see all you guys here. But so the reason I'm bearish, right? So what's our narrative? Yeah, I'll start getting into that, right? So on the daily time frame, right, we have this SMT where you can see that NQ failed to come out and sweep out this high, but ES actually was strong enough to come up and sweep out this high, and we're currently reacting off of it, right? So honestly, if we keep holding this SMT, I definitely want to stay bearish. We've already kind of flipped structure internally, right? We're definitely trending bearish right now. I feel like the first clear draw I'm looking to see get hit is these relative equal lows down here. Because when you look at the daily time frame, right, this right here is a volume imbalance. I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with volume imbalances, but essentially if we look at the close of this candle and the open of the next one, there's a gap. So it's almost like a fair value gap, but it's there's literally no area, including a candle body in this range, right? So I mean, we did fill in most of it, but there's still a small portion of this gap not filled in. So I could see it's coming down. But Ashton Anderson says, yo, what's up? So how I'm actually looking to take the actual short, right? So probably I want to see us come back into a 5 or a 15-minute gap and get a rejection down out of there. But honestly, I feel I always set conditions where honestly, I feel if we start coming up here and we start closing through this 5-minute, we kind of start trending toward London highs, I'll start questioning if I'm still bearish. But because honestly, I always love to set conditions for myself where I always say at this point I'll start questioning my bias. But you said what time frame are you looking to enter a trade in? So I always enter trades between the 5 and the 30 second, the 5-minute and the 30-second time frame. So the way I decide though is I'll look at the most recent current price leg and I'll see what is the highest time frame fair value gap in that leg, and I'll pay attention to the highest time frame. You have anything though? I think for a condition, I say this 15-minute gap is a better condition, because honestly, if we come up here and invert this 15-minute gap right here, I'm honestly going to flip bias to bullish. You said, I've been good, man. Lots of relatives at home after Christmas. Been spending time with family and happy that we coming into New Year shortly. Yeah, I hope all of us do good the New Year. You said, need 450 to pass an eval on Apex? Good luck, bro. I'm rooting for you. Oh, and so for economic news today, there is at 10 a.m., there's orange folder news, which is pending home sales. So it's something I'm going to be cautious of, but honestly, there's definitely a chance it might do nothing. So I'm sure you guys know Forex Factory, right? 10 a.m. Monday, but I guess Tuesday, there's FOMC, which is fun, at 2 p.m. And I won't even be trading Wednesday, but there's unemployment claims that day. So honestly, right now, my initial bias honestly might be incorrect. I really thought we were trending down toward there, but I mean, I need to wait for this 15-minute gap to get close through for me to actually shift my bias to bullish. You said, what's your win rate? It's approximately like 70%, I'd say. You said average RR. I mean, it's slightly over a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So I feel like there are trades I take where it's like a 1-to-1 risk to reward, but sometimes if there's like a really clear draw nearby, I'll just target that. I mean, so I'll mark this out. I don't necessarily think it's going to get hit, but I always mark out like the high and low of the 930 open. So let's say if at some point we started changing structure and coming back down, that would be a good target. But honestly, at this moment in time right now, I think we might be bullish, to be honest. What are we even reacting off of, though? Like, oh, I mean, I guess we're probably reacting. Now, we closed through this 4-hour gap. Oh, I guess ES is reacting off like a daily fair value gap. So there's an SMT. I'm sure there probably is, honestly. You said at the lows? Oh, you're saying internally. That makes a lot more sense. I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly not seeing the SMT. But honestly, so at this point, once we close, I mean, we're definitely closing through this 15-minute gap. We're already gonna hit London highs. So at this point in time, I'm definitely bullish, honestly. You said, yo, just lost the band. We gotta make it back. Damn, bro. I'm sure you can make it back. Just focus on taking higher probability setups. Yo, what's up, Vizit? How are you, bro? You said market looks good today, not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like this week I wasn't expecting too much, but we definitely have some good volume at the open. Bunch of good targets. You said pretty good, happy to see you as well. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. So honestly, I'm kind of happy that we didn't take out London highs, because I feel like London highs could be a good target if we get a pullback. He's what, we missed London highs by like 4 or 5 points. You said, so what's the bias? We inverted the 5-minute, but hold on, let me check the confluences. I mean, I was looking at, there's like a 15-minute in the same area, but honestly though, there's no shot we're holding this 15-minute, I feel like. So honestly, right now, me personally, I'm bullish at this moment in time. Honestly, I'm just looking to take a continuation long, to be honest. I would love for us to open up, like, let's say if we open up like a 5-minute gap here, and then we trade back into it and give me a clear rejection out of it. That would probably be nice if I could get like a 1-to-1 at London highs or something. But I still gotta wait like, what, 4.5 minutes for this gap to open up? I don't even know why I'm still marking out this gap. It's gonna get inverted in like 4 minutes. You said, do you think it's safe to take this trade after the 30-minute IFVG got inverted? I mean, I guess you're talking about... Yeah, 30-minute. I think I said 30-second. I guess you're talking about this IFVG or maybe this one up here. I mean, honestly, me personally, I think that might even be waiting for a little bit too much confirmation. If that makes sense. Because it's possible that by the time that gap gets inverted, we already could be taking out like London highs, Asia highs. We could just be too far away at that point. You said easy buys today. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution says buy. I could see that. I mean, because what? Like we accumulated. What? This is the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we accumulated over here, manipulated down, wicked, coming up. Good morning, Crypto Strategies. How are you? You said just started looking into trading, been watching your night streams the past few nights, trying to learn as much as possible. I mean, yeah, I feel like one of the best ways to learn is just sit here and like listen. I feel like you won't like take it in all at once, but eventually like each day like little things will click. But honestly though, like, I mean, you know, if you have no idea what I'm talking about at all, there's something called ICT for Dummies by the guys over at PB Trading. I think that's like a great thing to catch up on. Like they explain a lot of the concepts I use. And also some guy called Dodgy's DD. He talks about like inversion fair value gaps. But you said, why not on TikTok? This is awesome. I feel like my live streams on TikTok just aren't as like good. Like I'm on Mac, and for some reason TikTok Live Studio keeps giving me a hard time because I'm on Mac. Like my mic will cut out or my screen will lag, or I don't know. I just prefer streaming on YouTube. I think the experience is better overall. Because I feel like on TikTok too, you're stuck on like a mobile phone screen, and I feel like the chart is like wide. If that makes sense. But so we're gonna open up. You said, bro, TikTok keeps banning streamers. Are you talking about what's his name? TEEB trading, or Tyler, the guy who does the Tradeful TV? Because I saw he got banned, but I did watch his video and he said he was actually gambling. I guess that's against their terms and conditions. But yeah, I mean, they do be banning people. You said, morning, bro, here from TikTok. Good morning. Happy to see you. You said, I watch Butters 4K. He got banned as well. Never heard of that guy, but I do know TikTok. I feel like they don't like the day traders. Like, I feel like they'll tolerate it and they'll let you get views, but like, you'll just do something and they won't even tell you what it was and they'll just ban you. I gotta love TikTok. So we did open up this 5-minute gap right here, right? So since I am looking for continuation longs, this is like the higher time frame condition, because I was talking about I base all my trades out of a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap, right? So Now I'm looking for a lower time frame inverse, like coming out of this higher time frame gap, right? So like essentially like how I'm going to pick which time frame is I'm just going to see what's the highest time frame gap in this current leg. You said Dodgy already took 2 longs? Oof. I feel like Dodgy be spamming trades. You said, are you watching gold or just NQ? No, I only trade Nasdaq. Gold's probably popping though, I don't doubt it. Actually, gold's in a downtrend right now. I've never seen gold going down. Well, I don't look at gold too frequently. I mean, it's overextended. You said gold went down? Yeah, I'm seeing that. Said, yeah, it's correcting itself. I mean, yeah, it definitely was due for a correction. Gold's been going, like, absolutely crazy lately. I feel like everyone and their mom's been talking about gold. So in 30 seconds, we're going to open up this 1 minute fair value gap. I would love to see this 1 minute fair value gap get opened up. And then if we were to close through it, disrespecting it, I'd probably consider a long off that, to be honest. So I'm not in any trade just yet, but I'm waiting for a close through this gap. Yeah, because this 30 second doesn't look too good, to be honest. I like the 1 minute a lot more. Yeah, so honestly, if we come up on the 1 minute and close through this gap, I'm going to try a long. You said, I missed a short on gold this morning, but it's all chill. I mean, yeah, there's always other opportunities out there. So let me double check. If I want a 40-point stop loss, I will be taking 6 cons to risk 500. Yeah. And so the other thing is, like in 22 seconds, if we don't close to this gap, we're going to open up a 2 minute. Yeah, so I mean, if in the net, what, there's 15 seconds left, if we close through this gap, I don't think we're going to. Yeah, no. So I'm not taking this just yet. And so we did open up a 2 minute fair value gap. So this is now the highest time frame gap in this leg. So I'm pretty much waiting for this gap to get closed through. You said, what's your win rate? My win rate's approximately like 70%. I feel like on good streaks, it would be like a little higher. And then on like losing streaks, it'd be a little lower. You said you longing? I'm waiting for confirmation for a long. I haven't really gotten any confirmation yet, though. And honestly, I mean, if we're going to keep dumping like this, we might want to come down and sweep out this 930 low at least. Has ES done it yet? You said same here, been waiting for the 1 to 3 to inverse. Yeah, I don't like, though. I feel like we're dumping so hard. I feel like the setup might not be as ideal anymore. Because like my stop loss will probably be cooked. I don't know, we'll see. So we are like forming a new price leg inside this 5 minute gap. Kind of like here. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I still might want a long, but honestly, I might want to wait until ES sweeps this 930 low, to be honest. Unless it starts reacting up like right now. So I guess we are starting to react up a bit now. So I mean, I always talk about the highest time frame gap in the current leg. So it's currently this 3-minute fair value gap right here. So like if I were to take a long, we'd have to close through this 3-minute gap now. He said, yeah, I'm waiting for the 3-minute inverse. Yeah, it's currently the highest time frame, so I feel like it's the gap to pay attention to. Oh, and I'll be going for I never take negative risk to reward. I'll just go for a 1-to-1. Honestly, at this point, I feel like we want to sweep out this 930 low. You said 25 viewer, keep it up. Yo, what's up, Siddharth? How are you, bro? Never gonna give up though. You know the vibes. Yeah, so honestly, I think we definitely want to take out these 930 lows at this point. I feel like I'll pay attention to how we react off them when we take them out. Because honestly, I feel like if we hit the 930 lows and just keep going down, we probably want to take out this like daily internal low. Probably. But I feel like if we hit the 930 lows and immediately react off of them, then we could probably continue bullish. He said, yeah, great. He said, what's good? Feels good to get back into trading. Took a week off. What time frames do you usually mark? Honestly, not a bad thing taking a week off. I feel like last week wasn't the cleanest price action. And it's always good to reset mentally. But so what time frames do I usually mark? So honestly, I mean, I feel like when I do my initial analysis, I literally start all the way on the daily. And I'll look at things that like stick out to me. I use the 4-hour, but I feel like internally, I really pay attention to like the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and then everything between 5-minute and like 30-second, honestly. You said, I just noticed the 25 people, bro. You were cooking. I appreciate that, Baku Kenu. You said, only took one trade last week. Last week was bad. Yeah, it really was. I kind of, oh my God, there was one trade last week. I got stopped at break even, like to the tick. And there was another one where it stop rated me by like 2 points. I had like a 25-point stop, goes down like 27 points. And then it runs to my target. I was like, all right, this week's cooked. I did trade evaluation last week though, so I don't really care. I lost last week. He said, I'm watching the 1 second. I like the insight it gives. Yeah, you're not gonna catch me in the 1 second, but I'm glad it works out for you. So we're gonna open up this like. It's kind of hard to see. There's an unfilled 5-minute gap up here that we're going to open up. I was looking if there's maybe some setup we could take like to the unfilled 5-minute, but probably not, to be honest. So like honestly, if I were to take those longs like I was originally talking about, at this point, we'd have to close through this 5-minute gap, which makes my stop loss like kind of insane, to be honest. You said I usually don't trade it, but I like the information it gives why candles look the way they do. I'm not the best at doing stuff like that. You said, is this your eval account? Yeah, I'm trading evaluations this week too. The next week, I'll be back to my regular funded account, but right now I'm trading evaluations. Honestly, I feel like for me to take a long, I'd prefer if ES could come down and sweep out this 930 low. You said, are you in long here? No, I'm not in any long just yet. I'm waiting to see if maybe we close like through this 5-minute gap. And then I'd consider a long, but... honestly, I'd prefer for us to come a little further down first before I take a long. You said, I've been watching so many IFVG videos, all coming from Dodgy. Love to hear it, bro. You said, don't take a move before 10 a.m. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There is, 10 a.m. news. I knew about that 5 seconds ago. Yeah, it comes out in 2 minutes and 50 seconds, the pending home sales. Thank you for the reminder, Vized. So honestly, too, I always love targeting data highs and data lows. So if that news does come out at 10 a.m. and we leave behind any wicks on the 1 minute time frame, I definitely want to target those. Especially if they're in line with my draw, right? Like let's say if I have a bullish bias, right? We come down, take out the 930 low, and leave behind a data high. That'd be ideal. You said, I'm gonna go make some food, just came back from the gym. I'm gonna listen to you on audio. You're good, bro. I feel like ES, it makes it really obvious that it wants this 930 low. Like if you look at ES, I feel like NQ's not that obvious, but ES definitely wants a little more pullback. You said, I hope it continues down. It probably will, at least for the next couple minutes. I feel like today my bias has been like a little all over the place because like when I first sat down, I did say I was bearish, and then I saw we were coming like so close to London highs, and I was like, oh okay, maybe we are moving bullish, and then we just edged London highs, and now I'm like, I think we want these 930 lows, but I feel like one thing I do talk about though, I feel like one skill you need as a trader is like I don't always act like I know where the market's gonna go every second of the time. But I feel like I'm good at acknowledging when I don't know when where the market's headed, right? Because like no one knows where the market's headed 24/7, and like acknowledging you're a little confused right now is a skill. But so we just had this 10 a.m. news come out, so it might not do too much, but I want to see ES come down like 2 points further down. You said you're good at waiting for the right setup. I appreciate that. I feel like patience is a skill that goes a long way as a trader. It low-key susses me out that, like, remember before I was talking about I really wanted to see these 930 lows get swept? Like, ES came so close but never took them out, and now it's delivering up. So it makes me a little weirded out. Although, unfortunately, though, so remember I was talking about data highs and data lows? We did already sweep out this data high. Because this candle's not too big. You said, dang, 27 people, nice. Yo, what's up, Anthony? Appreciate you stopping by. You said like the stream. Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't mind, though, if you guys like the stream on YouTube, it does help me out a little bit. You said, I shorted soon as the market opened and lost 1K because I didn't put a stop loss. I mean, at least you know for next time, stop losses are pretty important. You said they need liquidity to push down. Yeah, I mean, in my mind, the way I view the market, I feel like when we came this close to this 930 low, it should have been like a magnet, kind of just hitting it. You said, why do you mark 10 a.m. open? So I mark 10 a.m. open for a lot of reasons, actually. So one, you got to think like first on the 4-hour time frame, we're opening up a new 4-hour candle. So like a lot of these 4-hour candles, not all of them, like it's not like a hard and fast rule, but typically like when the candle first start, it has a manipulation in the opposite direction. So like let's say we push up in the opposite direction, then we start pushing down, you can see which way the manipulation went. And it's kind of like the same thing on the 1 hour, right? Like we're opening up a new 1 hour, a new 4 hour. I just feel like there's a lot of manipulations at 10 a.m. and me kind of marking it out makes it a little more obvious for me. You said it's a magnet, yes, but they do need to pull back up a little to continue downwards usually. I mean, yeah, like in this case, I mean, it's definitely like doing what you say, pull back a little bit, and it's kind of continuing down. You said, so when I'm on alpha ticks, how do I put my stop loss and take profits? And also, how do I buy less than one contract? See, one contract is the minimum like order quantity, but pretty much like I'm not gonna take a position to show you because I don't want to trade my account, but like on alpha ticks, when you place the buy or sell, it'll put this line on your chart, and you can literally just grab the line of your entry and drag it either way, and it'll figure out if it's a stop loss or a take profit, and it'll just place it for you. I mean, you could also like right click on the screen and like put like limits, like like you could put a sell limit and stuff like that. You could manually put limits, but me personally, I prefer just dragging it on alpha ticks. So ES is finally going to come down and sweep at this low, I think. So like I always talk about how I use conditions, right? So like honestly, like this 930 low is going to be a condition where like let's say if ES sweeps it, we immediately react away from it. I'd be bullish, but honestly, if we're going to sweep out this 930 low and just keep continuing down, I got to go back to being bearish, to be honest. You said how many contracts do you usually buy? So I mean, I use a position size calculator, so I can even show you real quick. So this thing right here, I know it's called futures, but the website itself is one word. It's future contractcalculator.com. So I'll put like I'm trading micro Nasdaq futures. I have a 50K account. My stop loss is 40 points. I want to risk 1%. And then down here, it's like, okay, well, to risk 500, take 6 contracts. So you can put in like however much you want to risk, and it'll tell you what to enter in. Oh, you said, Tim, my boy, I finally caught you live. Yo, you're Jerry, I think, right? Yo, what's up? How are you, bro? So we did take out this 930 low on ES. Said I am. How's your trading been? How's your trading been going? I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. You said been killing it at Lucid at the moment? Lucid is pretty valid, honestly. Laggy XP said, I know, right? I'm finally here too. But you said, what are you inputting for leverage on the position tool? Honestly, on the position tool, like in TradingView, I don't really put anything for my leverage. I just use it to look at how many points I'm targeting or how many points my stop loss is. You said consistent payouts every week? Currently working across 3 funded accounts? Good stuff, bro. Love to hear it. You said, damn, bro, I remember when I was one of the first viewers, 28 now. You said, if I see a close below the 15-minute FVG, I'm looking for a short. Yeah, honestly, you said the 15-minute FVG? You said aiming to get a live account by February. I feel like live accounts are definitely the goal. Like it's always nice to not have to like follow rules of prop firm, have consistency rules, have to like get certain amount of winning days to request your own money. You said, can you change your leverage on alpha? Nah, prop firms do not let you change your leverage. So honestly, I feel like for me to take a short, I want to see a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap like get created, have us trade back into it and get a lower time frame reaction out of it. Because honestly, I want to say like right now, we're probably trending toward these lows down here. So what is this, like Tuesday's low? I feel like that's the draw I think we're going toward right now. You said coffee on me, guy. Enjoy your day. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that, Jerry. I appreciate you stopping by. You said here from Discord. Love to see it, bro. You said first live stream. I'm happy to have you here, bro. You said I'm short on Nas. Not a bad idea, honestly. Honestly, I'm currently bearish all the way until we get to this like Tuesday's low down here, to be honest. So it looks like NQ is about to take out this 930 low. You said Tuesday's low is also inside a daily fair value gap. I mean, it is. but it definitely is. But if anything, like there's this volume imbalance here that hasn't been fully filled in yet. I feel like it might want to come and fill the rest of that. You said today I lost my phase one account on Funded Next and I'm feeling down. What should I do? I keep doing the same thing and the feeling's taking over. So I mean, I feel like that's very common with traders where you kind of make the same mistakes over and over again and you think to yourself like, what's wrong with me? Like how come I can't keep a promise to myself and stuff like that? But I feel like one, everyone has these own different patterns and things that happen to them, and it's like tendencies a human body has. Like in time, you learn as a trader what your tendencies are and what habits you can use to actually overcome that. So like let's say I know certain people they feel the emotion coming on, so they lock their account out for like 15 minutes where they can't trade. Or like certain people they just walk away for the rest of the day or like whatever. But essentially you just find whatever your problem is, find like try different things to manage it. And just keep a journal too, because like me personally, when I used to make the same mistakes over and over again, I had this trading journal, and I had this one column where I'd have to mark, did I follow my trading plan, like yes or no, right? So I feel like all these days I didn't follow my trading plan. I had to go in there and mark in this log, like, no, I did not follow my trading plan. And I also made myself write down exactly what mistake I made, right? So like eventually one day I kind of came to this log and I was like, oh my God, like for the past like 3 weeks, like twice, like a week, I've made the exact same mistake and it's happened for the exact same reason. It's like, what am I doing here? And just seeing it like combined right in front of you, like how many days it's happened, kind of makes you like wake up, if that makes sense. I wonder, have we opened up a 5 minute gap just yet? Ooh, so in 2 minutes, we're probably going to open up this 5 minute gap over here. That'll be a great condition where, like, if we trade back up into this 5 minute and have a clear reaction out of it, I would definitely look for a short. You said, Tim, you got any New Year's plans? I mean, the day of New Year's, I am going to see some of my friends. Like, well, New Year's night, I should say. But you got any New Year's plans, Anthony? You said I work. That kind of sucks. Well, I mean, at least you'll probably get money. You said, "What's your height?" Very interesting question to ask. I'm like 5'10". I'm not gonna lie and say I'm 6 foot. I'm 5'10". I'm technically like 5'10 and a half, but I don't try to like grab every extra half an inch I can. But well, I guess technically in this case I did. But so we took out the 930. You said social security number. That was a good one, honestly. You said, why do people ask for height? I mean, it's not a bad question. I mean, I think she was just making a joke, but I mean, I think I'm more laughing because I feel like I think about the people who are like, I won't talk to any, because mother's maiden name. You guys are killing me over here. Dan, that's pretty long. I think tall is the right word you're looking for. But, so now that we're trading back up into this 5 minute gap up here, I want to see if lower time frame we can get, a reaction out of it. Yo, you guys are bugging. Any chance I could get your alpha login? So you want the login to my funded account? I'm not giving you that. That's one against company policy, and two, you'd probably full board it and blow all my accounts. Oh wait, you said give you some advice? You gotta be messing with me. Oh my god. I've actually never had my chat make me laugh this much. You said, can you add me as an authorized user on your credit card? Vizid asked an absolutely crazy question. Do you keep your car locked? What's your capital RN? I mean funded. Oh, we had an actual serious question. I'll answer that. So you said how many funded accounts? So I currently have 5 express funded accounts at Top Step, and I have 3 funded accounts at Alpha Futures. And they're all 50Ks though. So I guess like what 8 times 50 is like I have 400K in funding. But I typically don't think of like it as like a number amount. Like I don't really think like, oh, I'm funded 400K. I more think like, oh, I'm more think in terms of drawdown. And even the drawdown's end of day, so it's not even like that. He said he's giving them to me though. I mean, yeah, you trade him, then I'll just request the payout, and it'll hit my bank account. But honestly, though, so you said we're looking at. Yeah, honestly, I was just thinking about that. Like, I gotta mentally decide if I'm willing to take this because I could literally target an unfilled 5-minute gap and get a 1-to-1. I just gotta think: are we delivering from anything significant? You said, did ES take the low? Yeah, that's the thing. So ES did not take the low. So it's not like there's an S&T at the low. It's not like we're really trading inside like a higher. Because we inverted this 4-hour. To be honest, I actually might try this if I get a good close. Only for the sheer fact that I feel like this unfilled 5-minute gap might be a good draw. I honestly really want to see how this candle closes, though. He said, welcome to December price action. Yeah. Because honestly, I feel like on a normal day, for us to react up like this, we'd have to like put in SMT at the low or be trading inside like some like higher time frame gap, but we're kind of doing none of those. And I also don't like the way this candle's pulling back like this. This 5-minute gap's probably gonna hold, to be honest. You said exactly. We just shot up and came down like a failed rocket. Yeah, facts. Honestly. So honestly though, if we do hold this 5-minute gap, I want us to hold the 5-minute gap, to be honest, because I want to take a short. Ooh, pull down. That's annoying. So we technically inverted this 5-minute gap. So I'm honestly not going to take a trade. Like I'm not taking a long. Because I feel like we barely closed through this gap. And we're not really delivering from anything significant. Like, yeah, we swept out a 930 low. But I feel like the combination of we didn't close that good and we're just not delivering from anything significant, I kind of got to pass up on this. Like, could it work out? Yeah, definitely. But I feel like just because I passed up on it, it's gonna be the most beautiful trade ever. I mean, probably not, but that's the thing that makes it annoying for me though, is like because we closed through this 5 minute, I feel like if I want to go for shorts now, it makes it just like lower rated by nature. Said it happens. I mean, yeah, it's part of the game of trading. Not like it matters at all, but I think it's fun. I was kind of right. I was like, watch this thing be the most beautiful trade ever. Just going straight up. You said we're coming from an ADR, a lot of reasons to turn around and go back up. Gus said I took it. I hope it works out for you, Gus. I mean, it's probably going to, honestly. Especially the way it's reacting right now. Yeah, if like since you're in that trade, I mean, you can sell wherever, but me personally, if I were to have taken that, I would be selling at this unfilled 5 minute gap up here. You said what's an ADR? I want to say it's average something range. I'm gonna Google it to remind myself. Oh, average daily range. That's what it is. Yeah, so I think it takes the average of like the daily candles, if that makes sense, and like what their range is. I forget. I think it's kind of similar to not standard deviation, but there's something else I'm thinking of. You said, "Oh, thanks for the new vocab, Corey. Tell him I said thank you." You said there's a triple bottom. Yeah, I think just so you know, Visa. I mean, the people, whatever you say, they should be able to see it in the chat. Like the bot carries over chats between all platforms. You said I set TP at the top of the unfilled 5 minute and stop loss at the bottom of the low, but I'm probably gonna put break even soon. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would honestly wait to go break even until we tap into the start of this unfilled 5 minute. Said maybe double bottom. He said, "Damn, really, bot needs a raise." Yeah, restream bot's the goat. Well, honestly though, I feel like that restream bot really does help a lot, especially on Twitch, because I feel like if you pull up in the Twitch chat and it's just me talking to people that you don't like see, I feel like people just dip out. You said I like this guy's knowledge and approach to the market. It's very level-headed. I appreciate that, Corey. But you said, what's your opinion on AI? So, I mean, I don't know if you mean by like AI trading or AI in general, but I mean, I guess I'll answer all aspects of that. I mean, so in terms of AI stocks, I think they're a little currently overinflated right now because I feel like everyone's talking about like ooh like AI stocks and they're just kind of like a little bubble that might pop a little bit, but and said hell nah with the AI trading. Yeah, honestly, so AI trading, I personally don't believe in it at all, to be honest, because I always think like I don't know if you're familiar with like mechanical strategies, but I feel like when I first got into trading, I didn't want to use discretion, right? Like I'd get mad at myself when I make these wrong decisions, and I think like, how about I get a 100% mechanical strategy that like an AI bot could do, for example, right? And like I never really found success with mechanical strategies, and I always think like the market's similar like a video game where like if you find some exploit, it kind of gets patched if that makes sense. So I feel like if you can like give some AI bot directions to make money, at that point everyone could start doing it and it would just stop working. Like I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but like And another thing too, I feel like there's so many people out there that have like AI bots that are just scamming people, if that makes sense. Like I know one guy, like he calls, I know they're called EAs sometimes, like expert advisors, but I know one guy who sells. I'm not gonna name him, but bro, he be selling an EA. He be charging people like $2,000 to $3,000 for the code for this EA, and then like people say like, oh, I gave you this money, like can I get access? And then he just ghosts them, or like just, or he gives them like stupid answers like why they're not getting paid. He's like, oh, the money's stuck in escrow or blah blah blah, and it's like, he said holy 3K. Yeah, I mean, yeah. He he was charging like 2 to 3K for an EA. I remember some other guy. It's another dater in the another trader in the day trading space. He reported him to the CFTC because that's like highly illegal. That's like you're actually promising returns to someone's investment. Like me personally, like, I know I live trade and all, but I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, I'm guaranteeing returns. Like give me money. Like that's different. Shit, that's insane. Yeah, it really is. Honestly though, there are people out there, they will do anything for money with no morals whatsoever. Like I'm not saying it's like everyone, but there's definitely a subset of people out there that they're like, please just give me money. I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. You said people are gullible and people have no morals. I mean, yeah. You said wouldn't the target be at the top? I mean, me personally, I like selling at the start of this unfilled 5 minute gap only because like there's a possibility that we could trade up into this 5 minute gap and then continue bearish. Like we might even come down, stop me at break even, continue up, or just continue bearish. But I feel like I like selling at the first area we could potentially react off of. Like I was talking about targeting what I call the low hanging fruit. So like there's a lot of days where I do pass up on money, but there's other days where I sell at the first point we could react off of, and I'm able to walk away from the day with like a win instead of like a break even or a loss. And honestly too, I feel like it's December price action. I'm not trying to push it right now. Like I've been talking about for a long time, we're not in like the highest probability of conditions. So I feel like in like lower probability conditions, I go for a lower risk to reward. I think next week will definitely be better though. But and I guess while we're waiting here, I will remind you guys, if you are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I have my discount code, which is code TIMB272. It will get you 10% off all evaluations at Alpha Futures. And I could go on and on why I love them. Like, I mean, in case you guys haven't heard before, though, I say this all the time. They have a legit trading floor in London they move their traders to. So I feel like there's no other prop firm that has like an actual trading floor. You said, I think this is a buy on NAS. I mean, yeah, I definitely would agree. Said going for high of day. I could definitely see that. I marked out like London highs. I feel like this is the first obvious draw. Then after London highs, we could potentially see like maybe Asia highs. And then after Asia highs, there's that previous day high. He said, bro, I wish your discount code was more than 10% because code trusted gets you 40%. I don't think it does anymore. Because I know they had a sale a week ago that like all the affiliates was 40% off. But it should be 10% across the board for everyone. I want to check. You said, oh, it went away. Yeah. Yeah, they should be all 10% across the board. Hello? Where's the? I literally just saw it. Yeah, 10%. He said eating some food RN, it's bussin'. Love to hear it. You said, but Riz got me 20% off this morning? Interesting. They must have some special deal with Alpha where they get like periods where they get a higher discount. I know TGR did that once. He had like one weekend where it was only him that had 20% off. Yeah, you are right. Riz gets you 20% off. You said TF is Riz. I'm assuming Riz. I don't know if you know like the podcast Words of Wisdom. If I had to guess, it's that guy, like Riz Ikubal or some his name, something like that. Dude, Words of Wisdom has 440K subscribers. That's crazy. I never knew that. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but there's this guy over here, Words of Wisdom. He says he's like the world's #1 trading podcast with verified traders. But dude, I used to watch him when he had 10K subs. He said long looking for New York High. I could see New York High getting hit. You said, are we long or short? Honestly, I'd say right now I'm leaning more bullish. You said nice. Also, take profit got smashed. Love to hear it. Good stuff, Gus. Said he's the Rizzler. I haven't heard the Rizzler in so long. You said you could get a volume profile and measure the leg length. I mean, I definitely could, but I feel like I have enough in my trading strategy I'm confident in. And I feel like it gets to a point where you start adding too many things, you get like analysis paralysis. But I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a bunch of traders out there that do amazing with like volume profiles and order flow and all that. Maybe further down the line, but not currently. I don't think I'll look into that. So do you think you would be able to help me though? So basically, I did one contract at what you put your TP, and my risk is 1,000. So I don't know if you're. I mean, it's good this trade won because you're probably gonna win with your over risk. But I think you said you're trading a 50K account, and honestly, I'd recommend risking no more than like 500 per trade. So the way you can actually risk less is like you're probably looking at NQ, like just NQ. I'm on MNQ, which is the micro contracts. So the micro contracts are 1/10 the size. So like if you take one MNQ, you would have risked like $100 instead of 1,000. That makes sense. So we're getting very close. So if I were to have taken this trade, that would have been my take profit hit right there. Yeah, we just tapped into that unfilled 5-minute gap. Honestly, I just didn't feel comfortable taking that trade. You said, how do you deal with not getting out of trades too early? Honestly, I just try to act like a robot. Like I have a mechanical system where I think like, okay, once my entry is presented, I cannot go break even until we hit like my break even point. And then until then, I'm either getting stopped out or take profit. And there's nothing in between. I kind of like define, for me, I define a winning day is not finishing the day green. A winning day for me is following my plan, right? Like, as for example, if I took this trade and I lost, it really wouldn't be that clean of a trade. Like, yeah, it worked out, but I really wouldn't be following my plan. So like that's how I can look at today and say, oh yeah, I still won today, even though I passed up a winning trade. I said, oh, thanks so much. Yeah, of course. You said, how do you set a certain risk amount? So I was talking about this before. I use it's called a position size calculator. So I can show you it real quick. So you just go to your web browser and the website, it's one word. It's futurecontractcalculator.com. So I'll come in here and that dude before, when you said you were trading the micros, the minis, I mean, sorry, like NQ, when you go to MNQ, you want to select the micros, right? So when you come over the micros, I have like a 50K account. My stop loss size is like, let's say 40 points, for example. I'm risking 1% of my account. And then down here, it'll tell you, okay, risk 6 contracts. And that'll make you risk 500. You said bro needs to be sponsored by this calc. Yeah, because honestly, I feel like in futures trading, there's so many people that have no idea how to calculate their position size. Like, it's an important skill. Like, you said guys, calc is short for calculator, by the way. Yeah. You said you have all the tools. I mean, I've been trading for a long time. It'd be a problem if I didn't. But also, though, right? So I wonder, someone before asked, should I not target the extreme of this 5 minute gap, right? I think someone in chat was saying they want to put their target up there. And I was saying, me personally, I would definitely want to sell up here. Because, like, if you see this reaction we're getting right now, like, we're not necessarily going to react down. Like, I don't know that yet. But I don't like how we tapped into this gap and we're pulling back. Like, imagine if we tap into this gap, we come down, stop me out at break even, and then I'm up over a 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? Like, that's why I personally like selling it like the low hanging fruit. Yeah. So what we have like what? I'll stay here for like 30 more minutes, probably looking for a setup, but after 30 minutes, I'll probably call it. You said, have you missed trades while using the risk calculator since NQ moves so fast? I feel like it's happened in the past, but I wouldn't say it's something that happens like consistently. And to a point, I have a rough idea. Like, I feel like if my stop loss is like 25 points, I know that's going to be 10 contracts of MNQ to risk, like, because I do it so much, I kind of remember how many contracts I should enter at what time, if that makes sense. But I also kind of get it ready beforehand. Because, like, I don't know if you've seen me before, but, like, for example, let's say, I'm not, but let's say if I was looking for a short through this gap over here, I kind of start getting my position tool ready before we close through it. And I'm like, okay, well, if we did close through it, it'd probably be somewhere around like 70 points. So I kind of have an idea how much to risk before it happens. And then I kind of adjust accordingly. You say we retracing into the 5 minute? Yeah, probably. You know, to be honest, for me to take a long, if we can come down to this 5 minute and react off of it, that might not be too bad for a long. You said my plan was to sell. I was waiting for it to get liquidity, but everything changed. Yeah, honestly, when I first sat down here, I did say my bias was bearish. But right now I really can't be bearish. I feel like there's too many things going against me to be bearish. I mean, so at this point, what I'm waiting for is I'm hoping we can get a pullback and a clear reaction out of this lower time frame. So I want to see us trade a little lower before I look for longs. I can check if maybe not ES. ES didn't even create a 5-minute gap over here. Because sometimes I look at like gap SMTs where like let's say if ES creates a fair value gap and we trade into it on ES and respect on ES, I look at that sometimes, but that did not happen. Oh, we didn't even tap into the 5-minute? That's annoying. So like there is like a 1-minute inverse over here, but the reason I'm gonna pass up on it, it's because like my trading plan requires all my trades to be delivering from like a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap, and we haven't really reacted off of that. And you got to think too, like let's say if we do close through this, right? We're gonna be leaving an unfilled 5-minute gap right next to our stop loss. Because I always think like where I'm putting my stop loss, is there any obvious draw nearby? And like in this case, there kind of is. Because me personally, like right when I'm looking for targets, I'm looking for like equal highs, equal lows, low resistance liquidity, unfilled 5 and 15-minute gaps, and like we have an unfilled 5 down below. But you said, do you like Fibonacci, OTE, or do you just work within a range? Me personally, the only thing I really look at is I'll look at like premium and discount of a range. Like, so where is this Fib tool? Yeah. So like, I mean, I'll mark out like where's equilibrium of a range, and I'll like to see us hit like EQ. But me personally, I don't pay too much attention to like the what OTE is somewhere around here, right? It's not my forte. I know there's people out there though that go crazy trading that. Like that guy from Big Gains Club. I know his main thing is Golden Pocket, and dude, he's crazy. He's such a good trader. Ooh, so Hopefully we get a pullback to this 5 minutes so I can actually take my long. Yeah, because like remember I was saying though why I passed up on this 1 minute, right? Like this right here is exactly why I passed up on this 1 minute. You said so, you think a long would be decent here? Yeah, I was like, what do you mean a king? But I think a long would be decent only once we tap into this like unfilled 5 minute gap down here. Like once we tap into that, then I'll look for longs. You said it's exactly at 50% of the range. I'd like to see divergence with S&P. Because you're probably talking about like this range right here. If anything, I feel like it's closer to the golden. Kind of reacted off of the golden pocket, I probably assume. I feel like if anything though, higher time frame. I feel like my bias is just bullish, especially because I feel like we came really close to sweeping out these London highs, but never actually hit them, and we didn't put in an SMT there either. So I kind of like London highs as a target, but you said, would you worry about taking a long with the other unfilled 5 minute gap below? So that's actually a very good question. So honestly, me personally, no, because I feel like once we tap into the most recent 5 or 15 minute gap, like as long as we get a reaction out of it, because like once we get the inverse out of it, it's kind of giving me confirmation it's being respected. So I wouldn't really be too worried. The only time I would be worried is like, let's say if we tap into a 5 minute and there's an unfilled 15 right below, like a higher time frame gap. That's my kind of worry. But I guess the main reason I don't worry though is because I'm waiting for confirmation. So whichever one I get confirmation coming out of is the one I trade off of. So let me mark out where the other unfilled 5 minute gap is down here. It's essentially a BPR too. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with like balanced price ranges, but all it is like if in the same area we have a fair value gap that overlines with an inverse fair value gap in the same area, it's like a balanced price range of BPR. So yeah, I think it's gonna go down there, and my buy step's gonna stop down the long. I mean, at least using good risk management. So it's dumping, yeah, it really is. You said, did you lose? I think you're talking to Corey and not me, but I have not lost today. I haven't taken any trades. And if anything, I want to say Corey's going to get break even and not lose, I think. I'm not 100% sure, though. So we did tap into this other unfilled 5 minute gap, but I just feel like the way we're reacting, like, I feel like if we were going to move bullish, we really wouldn't dump like that hard. I could be wrong, but says stops out. Well, sorry to hear that. You'll get them next time. It is not the highest probability of conditions. That I could have went break even, but I held. Said I was trying to be done for the day on some strong profit. He says still up in the day. Love to hear it. Good stuff, Corey. Good risk management. You said a holy dump. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting this dump, to be honest. Because like I thought it was funny. Like I was talking about once we tapped into this unfilled 5 minute gap, we could react off of it. But honestly, I wouldn't have guessed we would have reacted like this off of it. It also like in terms of wonky price action, it really confuses me that we came this close to London high and never took it out. And there's not an SMT at London highs with ES. You said long is looking sexy, RN? Are you joking? I mean, you might be right, but me personally, I think we're coming to sweep out all these lows down here right now. In my opinion. Said there's a buy down here. I mean, maybe, but I need to see a lot more confirmation coming up if I were to take a long. I'm currently we are starting to pull back. Hmm. So check for SMT. I mean, there's not an SMT at the low yet. I have ES pull. I think my face might be in the way. But there's not an SMT yet at the lows. And ES also, oh, I didn't even see that. ES has exactly equal lows down here too. That's weird. So one thing I want to pay attention to is I feel like honestly, if we close through this 5 minute gap here, I feel like the longs don't look as good. I want this 5 minute gap to hold. So I guess we are holding this 5 minute gap. For now, at least. So I definitely want to see, like, once we come up and tap into this 5 minute gap up here, I want to see how we react off of it. Because I feel like if we come up here and start reacting down off of this 5-minute gap, I might look for a continuation short. But if we're just going to run right through it, that's different. You said long last trade of the day. I hope it works out for you. You said make anything today? Nah, I haven't taken any trades today. I did pass up on one trade that won, but it wasn't that clear, to be honest. There's a chance I might take a short sometime soon, honestly, depending on how price action reacts. Is there a 2-minute gap in this leg? You said, did you take any entries? I have not taken any entries so far yet today. There's a chance I might try like this 2-minute short if I can get an entry. Like only if we can close through a gap down here, but might not happen. I feel like when we first came into like market open, I feel like price action was looking good. And I feel like as time is going on, it's just getting choppier and choppier. But we'll see. You said so facts, yeah. You said 10 did absolutely nothing. It really did. I feel like on an ideal day, I feel like 10 a.m. would have come down and swept out like these lows, and then we had a reaction off these lows that just continued to London high. Like I feel like a normal day would have done that, but this is not a normal day. You said for a dopamine hit, long or short, I'm dead. I mean, I don't recommend gambling just blindly, but at this point in time, I'd say short if you gotta flip a coin. I don't recommend just blindly gambling. So honestly, if we close through this 2-minute gap, I might try this. What is this? Is like a 25-point stop. So I already know it's 10 cons. So if we close through this 2-minute gap, only if we close through this 2-minute though, I might try a short. But we need to close through this 2-minute. That's not a close through. So I have to wait like we opened up a tiny, tiny, tiny 3-minute. That's annoying. You said, all right, I'm going to short. Bro's just taking my advice blindly. I hope it works out for you, bro. Oh, so this was 11 a.m. So maybe 11 a.m. might be able to do something, but so I have to wait like another 2 minutes. So hopefully I want this candle to kind of come down and close bearish. And then once it closes through this gap, I'll just enter a short. You said I found an entry. I'm sideways to the right. I'm dead. Gus said cooked. Said break even on trade, can't lose. Good stuff. I want this thing to dump in the next like minute. He said, wow, man, dopamine hit trading's not working. It usually doesn't. So if we close through this 3 minute gap, I'm honestly definitely taking this short, to be honest. You said made a little over 200. I'm going to stop now before I start gambling. Definitely a good idea. These are not like the highest probability conditions, so you don't want to sit here and just keep placing trades. Like if you're up $200 in the day, amazing decision. Like walk away. I support it. Like even though I'm taking this trade, if you're up for the day, like don't get tempted by you seeing me taking a trade. So when this 3 minute candle closes, though, if we get a good close here, I'm gonna try this. So there's 10 seconds till this candle closes. You said out, done for the day. Not a bad idea. What is this? I'll do 8 contracts, man. I'll do 9 contracts. Fuck it. I'm in there. So my stop's going at this high over here. Honestly, I feel like price action's so choppy. I don't want to go for anything crazy. So I'll just set my limit down there. I'll go break even when either NQ or ES takes this most recent internal low. So that'll be the break even point. Gus Manning says bang plus $13. Let's go. You're him. Well, I'm glad I didn't make you lose money with that, with your dopamine trade. He said lunch is on you today. Honestly, I feel like if it wasn't like Christmas conditions, this would honestly be a not bad trade. Like I like we're delivering from a 5 minute gap. I feel like these stacked lows down here are kind of a good draw. They're not SMT'd yet. I like this so far. I mean, if it loses, I'll just blame Christmas price action, December price action. You said, is this paper or XFA? It's actually on an evaluation account. So it's not paper. It's not an XFA. It's like an evaluation. I can show you. I mean, it's just my funded futures. I have a rapid eval I'm trading this on, but I'm actually down this account to be honest. I kind of got cooked last week a little bit. You said decent RN. Yeah, I mean this trade's moving decent. You said I'm gonna short as well. Good stuff, Vized. You said still don't understand how to short. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it's just the same thing as going long, except the opposite. Like, I know it like logically doesn't make sense, but just think about it like this. Like when you take a regular buy position, you buy something and then you sell it later. You just do the opposite order where you sell something and you're promising to buy it back later and you want to get a price that's more like better in your direction. You honestly don't got to think about the actual like logic behind it too hard. I mean, just think like, do I want the market to go up or down based on the chart? And the orders are just flipped. So we are going to tap into this. It's a 3-minute BPR, like a balanced price range, because there's a 3-minute fair value gap up here aligned with the 3-minute inverse I took. So that could reject us down if we even come up that far. You said makes sense, just promise to buy it back. Yeah, essentially. So we did just tap into that area I was talking about before, the BPR. So honestly, I feel like this is the main area I feel like we should react off of if we're going to continue bearish. Like this right here is the reaction I want to see, right? This candle's flipping. You said annoying how they left London highs with equal lows too, not taking any liquidity. Yeah, that's one of the things that susses me out about this trade. Like, we left relative equal highs with London highs, which, like, if we're going to continue bearish, I feel like we shouldn't do. And, like, it would be okay if there was an SMT up there, but, like, there's not an SMT up there. So, like what's going on here, Nasdaq? You said, wow, man, I have a heart attack when I play a trade. I've been trading for a hot minute. I feel like over time, like, your body just gets used to it. It's not as big of a deal for you as much anymore. And I have a lot of confidence in my model, to be honest. But you said how many blown accounts do you have? I don't even know the number to that, but like to be completely honest, in my whole trading career, I've probably blown like 50 to 60 accounts probably. Like if we count the evaluations. Like I used to be such a gambler, to be honest. I remember like a long time ago, I used to buy an account, I'd blow it, and then I would promise myself like, okay, we're gonna make this account last for the week. I'd blow it on Monday, and then I'd buy another account the same day and then blow it again. And sometimes I'd even buy a third account and blow it. And then I'd be like, wow, I literally just spent all this money. And I told myself I'd be trading this initial account for like the rest of the week. I mean, honestly, I feel like people love to say like, well, they don't love to say, but people tell me a lot like, oh, you're so calm, you give good advice. But part of the reason I'm calm and give good advice is because I've done everything wrong in the book already. So I've learned like strategies to deal with all these. Like, there's nothing you can ask me that I haven't done to myself in the past. You said that would be me. I'd go into debt doing that. Yeah, I actually used to have. I don't know like how hard you guys follow me, but like I used to have 10K in credit card debt from prop firms that I literally couldn't pay back. Like I've talked about that before. Like I don't have it currently. I paid it all off in full. But like there was a point in my life where I literally had 10K in credit card debt from prop firms and I literally could not pay back any of it. You said casinos always get me. I lose some, then be like, nah, I get that win back. I mean, you gotta think like I feel like in the casino, right? Like the majority of people go into the casino and they're like, "Oh, like this is the mindset I have, the regular person mindset." But like there's a small portion of people that go into casinos and they're profitable gamblers. Like there's people that count cards, there's people that know how the casino works. It's a very small percentile, right? But there is a small percentage of people that are profitable gamblers. You got to have the same like mindset with the market, right? Like you got to think what are the issues that people have like over trading, right? Stuff like that. and work around it. Just focus on exploiting the edge that works in your favor and not the casino's favor. But you said, what's your max payout? So my biggest payout was like $4,200, but it was a little over a year ago now I got that. I feel like since then my payouts have been like 1 to 2,000 typically. I don't really go for those big payouts, but you said great stream, thanks bro. I appreciate that, Corey. He said, what do you think your biggest issue was when you were blowing accounts? It was a combination of I didn't have a model that I knew was profitable over time. Like I used to trade a strategy that I just found on YouTube and someone else traded it. And I was like, oh, well, he makes money doing it, so I can make money doing it. But I had no like data or evidence to back that up. And I feel like once I did do a bunch of testing on this strategy, I actually ended up finding out that it wasn't as profitable as I thought, at least the way I was executing it. So I feel like one, I really didn't have a profitable strategy I was trading, and two, I just kind of had to learn to like deal with my emotions. Like, I mean, I feel like everyone kind of, like I was talking before, like everyone has their own psychological things, like tendencies, and you kind of learn what your own tendencies are and what works best for you to like avoid them. You said there's professional poker players? Yes, there are. Damn, this thing about to stop me out. You said just hit the like button. I'm done for the day. See you next time. I appreciate you stopping by, Corey. You said, do you have that many funded blown accounts as well? I wouldn't say it's definitely not that many fundeds blown, but I've probably blown like let's say 20 fundeds. But I mean, it's not like I've blown 20 accounts. I mean, sometimes I'll copy trade 3 together and I'll blow 3 at once. So that makes sense. But that wasn't looking good for a second. But if it pulls back now, it's acceptable. But you said, are you in the minus? Now, I mean, like this year, I made like $20,000 net trading prop firms. You said, how do you like MFFU? I heard they pay ridiculously fast. They have like some AI bot that checks your trades, and it typically, like at least in my experience, like I'll literally hit request payout. It gets approved by the AI bot in like under a minute, and then they send it to your Rise account in like under a minute. And then when you hit request, like on Rise, when you hit request money, it's like in your bank account in like 2 minutes. Like my funded futures probably has the fastest withdrawals, to be honest. Damn, this thing's probably gonna stop me out. It's whatever. Yeah, I feel like the last area it could react off of is like there's like these wicks up here, but and sometimes people ask me too, like, oh, couldn't you just close out this trade early? But the thing is, though, there are certain days, like, I'm not saying it's going to necessarily happen today, but I do know there's certain days where we kind of come up, we tap into this wick up here, and then we react all the way down. Like, I've closed trades trying to save myself $50 and avoided, like, I've locked in a $450 loss and avoided, like, a $500 win. So, like, $50 just cooked me for, like, a band, if that makes sense. But this one's probably going to stop me out, honestly. You said didn't like that 1 minute doji at the bottom? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things that are not looking too hot about this trade. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that right now we can start flushing down. Because this is like one of the last areas we could really react off of. Because like the last area, if we did go any higher, there's one other area we could potentially react off of, which is like the equilibrium of this wick up here. Like 50% of this wick. Which is like right up here, which we never hit, but I don't know. We'll just see how it plays out. Yeah, but like, so remember, I was just saying before, like, some people would ask me why I'm not closing that trade when it gets really close and the trade doesn't look that good. Like, this right here is that reason. Like, I'm not necessarily saying this trade's going to win or anything, but like, for example, though, if I saw it come all the way up here and I was like, ooh, this isn't looking good, I'm gonna emotionally get out of this trade. Like, right now at this moment in time, I'd be absolutely so mad. You said, when do you start back up trading funded next month? Honestly, I'm probably going to start January 5th. I want to say that's a Monday, right? I'm going to look at a calendar real quick to remind myself. I'm pretty sure it's January 5th. Yes, correct. January 5th, I'll be back in my funded accounts. You said, oh my God, I went to the bathroom thinking we were going to get stopped out and we flushed down. Yeah, honestly, I thought I was cooked up here, to be honest. That's the reason that like sometimes people say to me like, "Oh, your trade's about to lose. Maybe you should get out." Like, dude, I'd be so mad if I got out there. And I feel like there are a lot of new people. Just so you guys know, though, like I typically stop trading at 11:10. But if there's any trade that I'm in, I'll hold it like through 11:10 to manage it until it hits whatever. But you said, are you going to move down stop loss? So the point at which I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even is when we take this internal low right over here. Because that's just the way my plan kind of tells me. It's whenever NQ or ES takes like that most recent internal low, like that's the main area we could react off of, and I need to go break even. We even put in, are these equal lows? Love that. So those probably aren't getting left behind. You said bro still in the trade. Yeah. We're getting closer to lunch hour too. I want this thing to hit. I'm not trying to be stuck here all day. Because part of the reason, like I was saying, you said oh, you're in as well? Love to hear it. But part of the reason like I said I typically stop at like 11:10 is because I feel like once we get closer to like 12, which is like lunch hour, price can definitely get a lot choppier. And I feel like my strategy, at least, like I trade inversion fair value gaps. So like that relies on price being not choppy, right? Like if we're being choppy, we're not creating fair value gaps. So if I'm trading inversions, like how do I get an entry? But you said not too choppy for me. I went break even. Honestly, not a bad decision. You said, will you be live on TikTok today? I mean, I'll be live answering questions probably later tonight, but I won't be like live trading on TikTok, but I'll be answering questions tonight probably. I don't honestly, I don't know exactly when. I want to say like 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I had to guess. You said I hate trading PM session, yeah. And honestly too, I feel like New York AM session is like a short session. I can wake up early in the morning. I can be done with trading like before noon. I can have like time freedom. You said, yeah, Tim, I'm asleep, bro. Take care, man. It was nice tuning in. I appreciate you stopping by, Vice, and take care as well, bro. What is that candle? So I'm still not break even just yet. I mean, I'm getting close to the point I want to be break even at, but still not yet. Yeah, I think my face is in the way, but this first line down here on ES is my break even point. So if ES hits that first line down there, I'll go break even. And if NQ hits this first like line down here, I'll go break even. You said thoughts on tomorrow's price action? Honestly, I think tomorrow is probably gonna be the cleanest day of this week, to be honest. Oh wait, there's FOMC tomorrow though. There's FOMC, I think. Yeah, honestly, tomorrow might not be the best either, to be honest. I actually don't think any day this week might be clean price action, to be honest. Because I feel like the morning before FOMC can be sloppy sometimes. And like I could definitely see that, especially right before Christmas Eve. And I feel like early close days can be sloppy in the AM session, so like Christmas Eve. And today's like it's close to a no news Monday. I mean, there is news, there's orange folder news, but I feel like Mondays and Fridays can be lower probability. And this Friday too, though, this Friday has no news either, and it's coming off of a bank holiday. You said you're gonna be here all day. I hope not. I mean, the thing is, like needs ES just has to go down a point and a half, and then I'll just go break even. That's all I want ES. And I feel like right now it might look like it's a great decision to just get out, go break even, but honestly, I'm like really like locked in on following my trading plan. Like my trading plan tells me I can't go break even until we take the most recent internal high or low. So I feel like breaking your trading plan's like a slippery slope, if that makes sense. Like, so I'd kind of try to trade like a robot at some points. He said, "Gotta see it through." Yeah, you're right. That would be funny if this thing stops me out. You said not, it won't. We're just bouncing off resistances. I mean, we'll see. I'm just letting this thing play out. I mean, I'm on evaluation too, so like even if it loses, it's whatever. I feel like the main reason though I'm just kind of confident in like it going down is that like the way I view the market is once we invert like the highest time frame gap in this price leg. I know today's not like an ideal day, but typically when we invert this highest time frame gap, we should go to this most recent internal lower high. At least on NQ or ES, one of the two should do it, which neither of them have done it so far. This really is some choppy price action. Oh, you said I took a short on ES. I jumped out at 750. It stopped my confirmation. Alpha doesn't let me scalp the way I want to. Yeah, I mean, I think that the main idea behind the 2 minute, the 10 ticks rule is like when you're in the sim environment, you get better fills, and they just don't want you abusing the sim environment. But you said even if this loses, you made a good call earlier, so you should be up on the day. I mean, I didn't take that 5 minute inverse before. Honestly, I wasn't comfortable enough taking it. Like I called it out and all. Ooh, what are we doing here? I just want ES to come down like 2 points, and then I'll go break even. I just need a little bit more to go break even. So I'm still not break even just yet. I want to see ES come down still like a point. I feel like price action's so ass though. Like, do I want to sit here all day? Not ES will hit this low, I bet. Do I move stops to break even? It hasn't hit the low. Ugh, I gotta follow my plan. You said you got a couple more hours of sitting here. Don't worry. It ES needs 1 point. It literally just needs 1 point. It actually needs a half of a point. They came a half a point away. You said technically I could have taken my 15 ticks, but it was way too back and forth. I feel like today's been a lot of back and forth, to be honest. No clear direction. I really should. Maybe I should have gotten out of break even. I mean, I guess at this point in time, I probably should have gotten out of break even. But if price action wasn't so ass, like this low should be getting hit. Shit, that's a fuck trade. It really is. Because like, dude, I said I wanted to go break even if ES came down like a point, and then it comes down like a little bit, but doesn't hit this low. Like, oh my god. This thing is cooking me. That's funny. I like how I even had my tool down here. I'm like, should I move stops to break even? I was like, nah, I'm good. You said, does it auto sell buy when it hits the number you want? Yeah, that's how the limit order works. Or said, I'm not even mad because of the dopamine win of the 1K long you called out earlier. I'm glad you banked on that. I feel like at this point in time, I just gotta wait for. If it comes down to break even, I might just get out of break even, to be honest. We'll see. I said, nah, you gotta follow your trading plan. You honestly, you are right. There's even equal lows down here. They might not be equal lows on NQ, maybe only MNQ, but Yeah, they're only on MNQ, but still. I feel like when we had this like dump over here at like 11:15, I was really getting hopeful. This is December price action for you. Yeah, this thing's gonna stop me out. That's crazy. It missed my break even by like 2 ticks. Honestly, while this trade's finishing playing out, I'll probably just do my recap. So coming into the session right at 9:30, I actually did say that I had a bearish bias, and I actually ended up flipping my bias a lot today, to be honest. So when I said I had my bearish bias, like why did I say that? Right, like one on the daily, there's this like it's a volume imbalance where we filled in most of it, but there's still a very small unfilled portion of this. So I figured, you know what, we might be trading toward that, to be honest. And then I feel like on the 4 hour, right, like we've shifted structure on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, we're moving bearish, right? The only thing I saw was at open though, we kind of did start pushing up. I guess where it opens like somewhere around here, right? So at open, oh yeah, open we pushed up. We made relative equal highs with London highs. So you can see like up here, we never actually came up and swept out London highs, but we came close to it. So honestly, that was a clear bullish draw. I thought we were going toward that. So the first trade that I called out today was there was this 5-minute inverse over here. So me personally, I didn't take it. I know some people took it. I was just saying you can sell this unfilled 5-minute gap up here. We closed through this 5-minute. The reason I personally passed up on it was because one, we're not really delivering from anything significant. Like we're not delivering from a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap really. There's no SMT at the low. So I feel like we're not delivering from anything significant. So it's not something I was really confident in enough to take. But so once I saw that we tapped into this 5-minute gap up here and we reacted off of it, I was looking for shorts. So we created like this 5-minute gap right here coming down. And once we traded back up into it, and we inverted this 3-minute gap right here, right? So at this point, we're currently respecting a 5-minute gap. We're disrespecting the highest time frame gap in this leg, which is this 3-minute gap. At this point, the most obvious draw should be this most recent internal high or low on NQ or ES, right? So I was targeting this low down here. That was going to be the break-even point. And then my break-even point on this trade for ES was going to be this low down here. So ES actually came like a half a point away from hitting my break even, and then it kind of reversed up. So I'm kind of still stuck in this trade. I'm not going to lie, I kind of thought by the time I finished doing my analysis, I would have been stopped out. Okay. So this might just be I might just be getting out of this trade to break even, to be honest. So we still have a couple more points until we hit my break even point on ES at least. Come on, dump, dump, dump. So I'm not break even just yet. I'm getting very close to being break even, but I'm break even. I'm break even. Risk free trade. I like how did it stop me on a one contract? No, okay. Yeah, I'm stopped out there. So that was a break even trade. So the reason I went break even there though is because ES hit this most recent internal low down here. And honestly, that was the thing I was waiting for this whole time to go break even, to be honest. So yeah, I mean this choppy price action too, like I'm not willing to hold this. Like I'm lucky it even came back down to my break even so I can get out there. But yeah, so I pretty much just explained the setup. I don't think I'm missing anything. Do any of you guys have any questions on anything that happened today or any of the trades I took or anything at all? Because I am probably going to wrap it up here. Oh, and also, in case you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. And if you guys do want to get an account with them, use my discount code, which is code TimB272. It will get you 10% off all evaluations in alpha, or if they have some better discount going on, it'll give you that. You said, will you be live trading tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. And if you're ever wondering about my stream schedule too, I do have my free Discord. It's in the pinned comment and also my profile. Yeah, so you can just join the Discord, and I always send the stream schedule in the Discord, as well as I always post my stream schedule like on Sunday on my Instagram story. My Instagram is TimB272. You said days like today ruin your mental capital, bro. They honestly do. Today's price action was fucking ass, honestly. But I mean, the main thing is like, one, I didn't have high expectations for today. Like, if you go back and watch the whole recording, I literally said I'm trading on evaluation accounts today. I'm not trading my funded accounts. So like I'm exporting less like mental bandwidth today because I don't have high expectations. And since I'm trading on evaluation, it's whatever, to be honest. You said, have you noticed that it's better for the S&P 500 to fall and for Nasdaq to rise? I mean, I think you're referring to like S&T divergences. I definitely pay attention to S&Ps in my trading a lot. Like if, let's say, Nasdaq takes a high and NQ doesn't or something, but yeah, but I am probably going to wrap up here. I already did my trade recap. So if you're watching the recording and you want to see the trade recap, I did it like 5 or 10 minutes ago, so just rewind a little further. But I do appreciate all you guys stopping by. I will be live again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You said thanks for another great live. Bye, Tim. I appreciate you stopping by, Pren, but I appreciate everyone else stopping by as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.